What is poppin', y'all? We are back with another episode of the Squid Game Where Are They At Now podcast, where we catch up with the former players of Squid Game Season 1, the challenge, to see where they've been, what they've been up to, and what they got going on. My next guest, he's an iconic figure. He has a man with the quotes. He's a man of the Lord, man. He's a man that's gonna lead you into Normandy and not lose any soldiers. At least you ain't gonna be lost. Some other ones that he don't know, they might get lost. But you gonna go into battle with this one, and he's gonna lead the charge, and he's willing to put his head on the line just for you. This is someone who definitely is a stand-up individual, and I can vouch for his character 10 times out of 10 with humility and gratitude. And with those words, y'all probably already know who I'm talking about. Mr. T.J. Stooks, Mr. Player 182 in the building. Oh, the crowd goes wild. BuzzFeed.
Oh man, what is good, brother?
What's popping? What's popping? What's going on?
Nothing. Just here, just here. Want to complain, even though nobody's listening.
Hey, no, you got some people listening in this one. You can, we've had a few people listening, but I understand. We gonna keep the good vibes. We can always complain. As I always say, I could if I wanted to, but I'll let it slide for another time when
Yeah.
I'm talking to the pastor. I'll complain to him. But I ain't Catholic, so I don't go to those little walls you talk through and speak feedback. So I guess my complaints are going, and nobody's hearing mine either. Uh, TJ? It's been about a year since the show aired. Can't believe this year's been a crazy one.
Yeah.
How have you been since the show, and what have you been up to this past year?
Man, I've been fantastic. This year has been one of the longest years of my life, but most eventful at the same time. Um, in El Paso, I'm a C-list celebrity now in El Paso. Everywhere else, I'm like a K-list or F-list, but like it's just been a lot going on with the little projects, and I recently did with another Squiddy Lexi. I did a Spider-Man mock trailer with a guy named Hero DW. That man has like 18 million followers across socials, and he's bringing it to life. He's actually selling a plot to Sony, and I was part of that. And what else? Second year coaching in Northern New Mexico College. That's like one of my biggest things. Learned a lot. Also, as much as I learned, it's been a lot of hardships, but that's the best thing about it. You go through stuff and it builds you up, builds your character even more. I went to the New Orleans training camp, New Orleans Pelicans NBA team did training camp, and all strength that the one of the player development guys knew me from Squid Game, and then had the whole team watch Squid Game, and Brandon Ingram calling me, "Yo, player 182, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, like what's going on here?" NBA players know me, like, and Zion dapped me up, and man, I couldn't do what you do because I would have tackled somebody. I'm like, yeah, I know you would have.
Oh, Zion. Not to interrupt, but what's going on with Zion, Coach? He's been injured all season, and it looks like he gained a few pounds. What's popping with him?
Yeah, from a basketball a coach's standpoint, he is a competitor. I give him that. I watched him compete. I bumped with him a few times. That boy is like an oak tree, and but beyond that, just I feel like he can't maintain his diet. He's in the wrong city for that because New Orleans is known for their food, and their food is fantastic. And yeah,
Okay, well, I think he should be, as an NBA player, he should be more disciplined than that to blame the city. I wouldn't put the city at fault. I understand they put a little extra grease in their skillets, but this man, Brandon Ingram is skinny still. What's up
Mhm.
with that? You know?
Brandon Ingram, like his same thing like Zion. He's an oak tree. I bumped with him a few times too. That man, like he don't look it, but that man's solid.
Okay, well, Zion, if you're listening, brother, I wish you well, but I just, you need to stay off the Raging Canes, and definitely, I think
Gumbo, no gumbo.
no gumbo. Yes, no gumbo in 2025, coach.
But beyond that, just I was very grateful that people even supported me, even though they made me sound like I was Vin Diesel in the edits. So I'm just grateful for that. Grateful for people still supporting me actually, and like just watching the show because season two is coming out. This the TV show, and people are getting their fix. Waiting these few weeks, watching our reality show, and then watching the season one of the scripted show, and people like there's a surge all over again, and people are actively like reaching out to all the people that are their favorites in the reality show, and it's pretty cool seeing the support come out of nowhere all over again. So yeah.
Yeah, no, wintertime comes and it seems like it's Squid Game season. That's kind of
Mhm.
what life has turned into. When 2 years ago filmed that it was Squid Game season. Now, last year, the show came out during the wintertime, and now it's season two of the actual show coming out. And then probably next winter, we'll get the season two coming out. So it's always seems
Mhm.
like now Squid Game is kind of ingrained in society to where, it's wintertime, it's Squid Game season. So I think it'll kind of be like that for a while, at least for the next 2, 3 years, I'd say. So definitely, it's pretty cool to see, everyone come back out or inside, I guess, and get back involved and whatnot. So with the show, it was definitely a crazy, crazy experience. What's your biggest takeaway after all the dust is settled? It's been a long time since it aired essentially. What's your biggest takeaway from it?
um I'm so glad I enjoyed my time there. As much as hard, difficult as it was, I enjoyed my time there, meeting new people, meeting people like you. Like uh, um, the biggest takeaway is just enjoy relationships, enjoy making relationships because our bond, the Squiddies, we can't replace it. There's no way we can replace it, and we're the first in something,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
like there's no replacing what we got.
No, facts, facts. You're a pretty busy guy. Squid Game, when you filmed it, it was during basketball season. And so for someone who's interested in doing season two and they have kind of a schedule, maybe like yours, where they have a team to be a part of or some obligation that's really crucial. Because basketball, you can't just be like, oh, I gotta leave for a little bit. Like the team needs you there, and except for extenuating circumstances. But somebody is maybe on the verge of doing a show like Squid Game or Squid Game itself, and they're trying to decide whether they should do it or it's not worth it to kind of miss what I'm missing. What would you tell people like in those positions?
Um, that like you said opening, right? I'm the man with the quotes, right? So there's a quote that I heard a few days ago said a hard worker can never beat someone who enjoys himself. And I feel that like people who work hard, they work hard to forget themselves. And so this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I say you shouldn't pass it up. You shouldn't, no matter how busy you are, you shouldn't pass it up because you're going to kick yourself 5, 6, through whatever, however many years later that you wasn't part of it and they wanted you. It wasn't like, oh, I applied and I didn't get it. No, like don't be, oh, I applied, but I said no, and you regret it 5 years later. Go take the chance. Like take that leap because you have no idea where it can take you.
No, facts. Well said. Well said. And I'll talk to you off camera about something, but I asked that for a specific friend of mine potentially, not Squid Game, not Squid Game, but
Yeah.
something else that's similar. But anywho, so the Squid Game brought a lot of positivity, a lot of cool things after interacting with fans, events, etc. But was there any kind of negatives from the show, either like a way something was edited or after the show, maybe somebody was acting different outside of the show than you imagined, like anything at all?
Um, well, I'm happy to say that people were themselves. I'm happy to say that. There was one negative where I prayed over people, like I prayed over them, and I didn't mean it in a malicious way nor in an ignorant way. And a lot of there was a few videos, like three or four, but you know how people overshadow the positive with the tiny bit of negative. So I addressed it and I moved on. But that person made like 4 or 5 different videos, and he called me a narcissist. And I'm like, maybe 5 years ago, but now definitely not, definitely not. I was like, and what I did, my profession, I played professional basketball for almost 20 years. And in that, you do need an ego. You do need to be a type of narcissist because you're not going to get paid. You're not going to eat, you know. But I explained that to him, and after the fifth video, he apologized, and like he was just like, "Well, I didn't know this was you. This is not a character." And I'm like, I understand that the world has desensitized other people to good people, and like we're friends. Actually, we talk more often than not.
Wow. Was that like a fan or someone like in the show?
The That was, I guess, a fan. Uh,
Okay.
um, but he's notorious with critiquing things negatively.
Ah,
So,
okay.
and there was a few YouTube pages that I ran into the past few months, like the reactions, like looking at it live and then reacting. I'm like, oh my god, why haven't I seen this? And then there was some people that had me cracking up, and there was others that I didn't have to say a word. I didn't have to defend myself. The other people actually defended me, and there was, I forget the name. It was this guy from like Oklahoma, and when I got eliminated, he said, "Thank God, I was so sick of him and this and that." And but there were people in the comments. It was like, I remember this one lady specifically. She was like, "Your hate for TJ shows how you was raised and who you are. You're." She says some vile stuff. I don't want to say it. Like she says some crazy things about him, but I was appreciative of people stepping up for me.
Nice, nice. Yeah, the reception for the most part, most people I'd say has been pretty positive. I mean, once people see the show as what it is, and it's a game at the end of the day, we can root against our characters and root for. I mean, look, I was rooting against my character for a little bit there. Like, what are you doing? So in that aspect, I understand the fans, but when it gets past that point, y'all need to like check yourselves because this is not. It's not that deep to the point of
Really isn't.
criticizing and pinpointing out the person themselves rather than the player. So. So with Squid Game season two, the series about to come out, what's kind of like what are you most anticipating and looking forward to seeing from the show?
So the drama, I know the drama is going to be tenfold because he had actual the creator had actual time to build on the story. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited also for the games, and how will that translate to the reality show, or is reality shows going to be original? And I'm in a love hate right now with red light green light returning
Why is that?
because of what we went through.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, they won't be cold like we were, so
I
I
know, but
can
here I'm going to hear the voice all over again, and it's going to trigger me all over again when I thought I got over it. but but physically, it's a physical thing that I think that will stick with me until I'm an old man. Like that feeling, well, I will never forget being in red light green light, and I am looking forward to how they're going to react to that.
Yeah, no facts. Definitely when it's cold outside, it just brings me back to that. And it's cold every day out here in New York. So it's just every day I kind of like, oh my gosh, like it actually helps me a little bit because I dealt with it and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad, but sometimes it gives me a little PTSD, especially
Really
hearing the
does.
song. The song is the biggest thing. So I'm just like, oh snap.
And the girl who sings the song follows me.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty dope.
and,
That's pretty
and
dope.
I'm like, she's like a competitive salsa dancer. I did not expect
Yeah,
that.
me neither. Wow, that's a fun fact. I did not know that. So that's pretty lit. Um, with we met a bunch of people from the show and whatnot. Who are kind of the people you keep in touch with the most?
Chad, the one who's like, I'm not his leader, but we keep in contact a lot actually. More than I expected. Louisa, you, Jesse 183. Um, Surprisingly, I just met up with them for my 40th birthday in October, and we went to Gordon Ramsay restaurant and met the man Gordon Ramsay.
Nice,
And
nice.
so there's a few more Cheney, Darius. Me and Darius haven't talked as much, but we do talk. Ben, Passion. Who else? Phil. You know, my definitely my me and my we speak often. Uh, um, yeah, and that's it really. Like not for as often, but like granted here and there. You know, everyone that we with the same experience we had. Like all of us, we speak occasionally, but for the most part, it's those names I named.
Nice, nice. That's what's up. Yeah, it helps. It helps with the group chat as well. And then, Instagram, people are always doing stuff or traveling. And if I happen to see someone from the show in New York, I always be like, hey, like, what's up? I mean, I'm gone a lot, so it's like I'm
Mm,
here and there. So people hit me up when they're coming, and I'm like, I'm gone. But definitely, it's really dope to have that accessibility factor and whatnot. I mean, I haven't talked to Bridget in forever, but when I was in Denver, I hit her up, and she lives way south of it, so I wasn't able to meet her, but we got to
mm,
reconnect a little bit.
yeah,
And she told me some fun things she was up to. um, she got going
yeah.
on.
Her son, man. Whew, her
Yeah, her
son.
son is committed to what
Um,
it's Ohio or somewhere in the middle, Indiana, somewhere in Indiana or
Somewhere
Ohio.
in the Midwest.
Yeah, but yeah, it's dope to see her with him, and he's going to play college basketball, and I'm definitely gonna try and hit a game next
Definitely.
season. So it's cool. It kind of expands beyond just the players, like their family or relatives, or we make friends of other friends that become cool. So I've had that happen a lot as well. So it's pretty cool. 6 degrees of separation type of settings that it's going down with.
Yeah.
So I want to play a quick game with you. We gonna talk about Squid Game. It would be wrong if we didn't play a game. And this game is basically I'm going to mention or throw out a player and number, and I want you to tell me your initial thoughts or your reaction.
Okay. I'm gonna just spit it out. I'm not gonna think about it.
It doesn't have to be one word either. It can be a phrase or saying or sentences or whatever. It can be whatever you want.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start out with Mr. Trey 301.
Honorable.
Okay, you sticking one words. Okay, okay. How about Miss Hallie Parrott at 305, I believe. Could be
Funny as hell.
wrong. Okay, okay. What about our champion Mai?
Caring. Biggest open heart I've ever seen in my life.
How about our show's quote unquote antagonist, Brighton 432?
Misunderstood.
How about well, why don't you say misunderstood? Why don't you explain that?
Um, he's such a good person. There's so many people that will judge a book, based on the title or in the, how you get a book and you look at the back and it kind of explains the synopsis. Um, but with Brighton, you got to read the book to understand them. And I've read a few chapters, and I'm like, he's so misunderstood.
Okay, that's that. Hey, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
How about our runner-up 451 Phil?
Phil, man, Phil is so much fun to be around. He's like fun, just fun. We shared an event in Philly actually, and man, being around him in that situation, he's like the life of everything. And like I stand out obviously, but his personality just shines through a room.
How about our Mr. Spit on the Cookie, Spencer 299?
Spencer, man, Spencer, one of the nicest, most purest human beings I've ever met. Like to a fault almost.
Yeah, oh Spencer. How about our Dr. Rick?
Dr. Rick. Um, Cunning.
I think okay, okay, definitely. 'Cause he could have won the game.
Could
He wasn't sent out the way he was. How about your alliance member, Cheney, 176, I believe.
Cheney. The most smartest fireball I've ever met. The most, no, I'm sorry, not smartest, intelligent. The most intelligent fireball I've ever met.
How about your other alliance member, Jesse?
Jesse, um, an outside the box thinker that's willing to take himself out the equation.
How about our second runner-up, Sam?
Sam, man, um, I love this beard. Love this personality. Love this energy. And I love what he stands for. With the LGBTQIA plus, I love what he stands for, and he
What
has a
about,
forever ally.
okay, nice. Of course. Shout out Sam. Shout out Sam. What about our other villain, Miss Ashley?
Ashley, so misunderstood. God, she is misunderstood, and I hate the hate that she got for standing her ground. I genuinely hate it, and I hit her up one day. I was like, "You want me to track him down?" She was like, "No, no, 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 no."
Hey, it was about to be on and pop, and look, she can definitely defend herself. Like
Oh yeah.
she she's been bulking up. So,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've definitely seen that.
and how about Felicia, her alliance member?
She, I loved the person she is, and she remind. I told her many times. I said, "You remind me of my little sister, like my actual little sister." And she was like, "Really? How?" And I told her all the ways, and she's like, "Wow, we are alike." And she has a forever ally in me also. I would support her to the ends of the earth. I don't care if she did right, wrong, or different. I will support her to the ends of the earth.
How about your other alliance member, Darius?
Darius, ooh. that man is that man is a wild child. He's the most boxed in wild child I've ever met because he has a personality of 1,010 that you can't like fathom when you're around him. Like he just so much energy, and but however he allows himself to be open. So I would say, in a word, um, an enigma.
Okay, nice. I like that. And then we'll round it out with Miss Leanne.
Leanne, mom. She is my mom. She's the nation's mom. She's everybody's mom. A lot of people don't know this. We connected because she went to school 2 hours where I went to school. So, a college, and she was, a lot of people probably know, but she was the first woman to receive a basketball scholarship in Kansas State University. And so I went to Independence Community College, then transferred to Pittsburgh State. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away from Kansas State. So, uh, um, that's how we connected. But I'm telling you, her shit, like just fire, just like not the fire that'll burn you, but the fire you want to be around. That's the type of person she is.
Nice. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, well, I actually raced at Pitt State for track a few times because my freshman year I went to Missouri Southern State.
Really, I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
I know. I'm sorry too. All shade. No, 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 no shade to Missouri Southern. It was just a stressful year for me there, you know.
Yeah,
But
that's
it was, but that's yeah. I definitely have been to Pitt State a few times, and it probably looks the same since you left.
More than likely.
So well, we'll finish it out with that one, and then so before we get out of here, is there any last words you want to say to the peoples? Any final thoughts?
um, well, thank you for having me. And thank the people for supporting the show that we were all on. A lot of the time, people get confused and create a narrative that's false, and they follow that narrative, and we all been victim to that. And I just want people to think and realize that, like you said earlier, this isn't. It shouldn't be this big of a deal. It's a game.
Exactly.
But for us, like for the people, again, thank you for supporting what for first of all enjoying our hell and, and enjoying our torture, but allowing us to be ourselves in an eye where not many people are themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100% facts. With all the bots around, with all the hidden profiles and whatnot, some people are scared to kind of stand on their 10 toes, and I don't. I think that's unfortunate, but it is the world we live in, and you just got to be able to weed the good ones out through the bad.
facts.
So, well, PJ, I appreciate you coming on through here to speak the gospel and definitely hear what you've been up to. Has been fantastic to follow you with everything that you're doing. And to the viewers at home, I appreciate y'all listening and coming through. And until next time, y'all, peace, blessings, deuces, and have a great rest of
Love
your.
your shirt too. Love your shirt. Midtown Commons.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Comics. Shout out Midtown Comics. Come do a Squid Game comic with us.